Hi, this is Aaron Linsdau, polar explorer and motivational speaker. What would you do if you got lost in the woods? So I was reading in the Jackson Hole Daily paper about this poor Boy Scout who got lost in the woods. Where was he? Near the city of Cheyenne, capital of Wyoming. And I'm reading it here. The title is Teen Lost in Woods, 8 Bugs, Tree Bark. Whoa! Now the story goes on to talk about how the boy realized that he was lost. I don't know, whatever, he had to go to the bathroom. It's the usual thing that happens to you. People always point their fingers, oh, you get lost, you don't know what you're doing. You go in the forest, you go far enough away to use the toilet to where you can't see anybody or hear anybody. And then you stand up and turn around and, holy smokes, I'm lost. Well, this, how old was he? 13-year-old boy was out hiking. Let's see. he lost his group at around 9:30 in the morning. They started looking for him. They couldn't find him. He was on a 50-mile backpack in the backcountry. Now, for people that don't backpack, that's a long ways. Man, I'll do an 80-miler in 4 days or something, but 50 miles for some little kids on a trip, they're definitely working on their backpacking merit badge, and that's hardcore. But this one poor boy, his name, let's see, Garret Hunter of Draper, Utah, got found super late at night. And so what happened, and this is the whole amazing point about this story, is once the boy realized that he was lost, he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Hug a tree? So he goes over probably. Now, of course, I'm not lost because I'm at home, and I hate getting lost because it's really embarrassing. And you sit and you park by the tree, and you think, man, how long am I going to be lost for? It's starting to get dark. I'm not sure. He had half a tent, a water filtration device, and a little bit of food. And so this kid realizes, or we won't call him a kid, we'll say Garret, Mr. Hunter, realizes that, man, I could be out here for a while. Well, what do? I'm going to need some food. So Garret literally has the courage to decide, well, I'm looking around. I don't see a lot of food around here. Now, for the nutritionists in the world, they might say, oh, well, this grass right here, even though it looks really good, you can eat it, but you won't get any food from it. So if you take some wild grass that's grown in the backyard, this sort of stuff, and you tear it up, and you chew it up, yeah, tastes like grass. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, that was grass I was eating. So Garret, he decided to eat tree bark. So I don't know if there are any loose pieces of bark on this tree. Oh, yep. Sure enough. So Garret, oh no, that's too tough. Is there a pine tree in here? Let me look around. So Garret decides, he looks around. Oh yeah, well, okay. So I can't really tear off, I don't have my knife on me, but so he takes some bark. Me literally, yeah. He starts chewing on the bark to decide, oh man, that's bad. To taste it, I'm like, okay, I need to survive out in the woods. What am I going to do? And I don't know where any ants are. I'd eat a bug for you, but let me see if I can find a bug. Hopefully one that won't make me sick. Oh, jeez, that's bad. Nope. No bugs, unfortunately. Well, apparently he found some ants. I don't know where any ants are around my place. Sorry. Otherwise, they'd demonstrate eating ants. Garret's a pretty tough kid because, of course, ants create formic acid, and it's really bad. And just eating that piece of pine tree, So Garret said, courageous young boy that he was, he said, so he also had his sleeping bag, so he was all set. And he said he didn't like eating the bark much, but the bugs really weren't too bad. So this boy had the courage to say, you know what, I'm here, I've got to eat, so what am I going to do? I'm going to eat bark, and I'm going to eat ants. So when you end up in a tough situation and you're not exactly sure where to go or what to do, and you got to make these decisions, and this happens to all explorers, and I have to say, tree bark definitely doesn't taste great. Grass, you can chew it all day. It's not going to do anything. But Garrett decided, and he's now, I would say, I will christen him a real explorer for eating bark. Sorry, it's so funny. It tastes terrible. For eating bark and ants. So he literally took some sticks and chewed on those ants, and he got himself probably like 0.1 calories per ant or whatever it might be. But he had a water filtration device. So he had the courage to know that, you eat insects, you can actually tough it out. And interestingly, there are people around the world, like in Cambodia and China, grasshoppers are a big deal because way back in the Khmer Rouge, that's all they had. So they literally ate insects. And there's this whole movement about eating insects, and it's better per energy use versus beef and chicken. Yeah, well, I can just see in America people chowing down on their plates of grasshoppers and fried scorpions. Yeah, no. I don't see anybody in the West Bank in Jackson Hole doing that. Maybe it's some frou-frou thing. But, let's see, let me see, turn this page here. Page 5, page 6. Let's see. Oh, he actually had a little bit of trouble starting a fire with the fire starters and keeping it lit. But, man, this gets better. This kid is smart, this Garret Hunter. So he couldn't get the fire lit with what he had. And he's like, well, I need to light a fire. I need to get warm. Doing all the things that he was trained to do. And so, what did he use? He used his bug spray. And, yeah, check this out. This is brilliant. So, I'll just quote directly from the paper and try not to laugh. And the paper says, quote, he had trouble starting a fire with the fire starters and keeping them lit. So he improvised using bug spray with his lighter, even though his mom told him not to do it, and he did get the fire going one night. So he was out Saturday afternoon and Sunday, and they had to suspend the search at 7 o'clock because as searchers, you can't get people in danger. But one group volunteered to stay out and camp by this lake. And so they started yelling his name, Garret, Garret. And they actually heard him yell, help! Holy smokes, this one crew actually took a little bit of a risk, probably against search and rescue, but hey, they're camping and prepared. They found him on a ledge. Authorities said he did the right things to survive. He stayed stuck in one place after about hiking a mile. And that's the thing, people. Usually when you get lost, it's usually very near where you started from. Now, a mile, that sounds close. Yeah, when you're driving in your car at 60 miles an hour, you cover that sucker in about a minute. But when you're walking slow, and man, you're scared. When I've gotten lost, woo, mind bender. That mile can take you an hour to walk just because you're not sure, you're searching. It's super tough. So when you run into those challenges and you become fearful and, oh, what do I do and where do I go? Well, think about Garret. What do you need to do to survive, and can you use the resources that you have to make it through? So think about what he had. He had a sleeping bag, part of a tent, probably could cobble together some sort of shelter. He had water purification, and he had the guts to eat bark. Oh, whew, and ants. So you could probably find some grubs eventually and kill those and eat it like on Survivor Man or Bear Grylls or what was that other show? I don't know, whatever it is where they make people eat gross stuff. So one of the challenges you face is people always complain, oh, I don't have the right resources. I need more money, more people, more utilities, more tools, blah, 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 blah. Can you use what you have with you to make do and get as far as you can? So often, yes. You'd be amazed that instead of focusing on what you don't have, what if you focused on what you do have? your internal resources, the things around here. I don't know. I kicked this little red ball. I don't know what I would do with that red ball, but probably want to start a forest fire because this place is all smoky. You can see that behind me, but could you build up a signal fire rubbing two sticks together? Best to go into the forest with some sort of ability to light fire, trying to generate that from nothingness. That's tough. But I really got to commend this young Garret Hunter. I mean, he really, of Draper, Utah, he definitely had the courage and the wherewithal to get it together and stay calm. I mean, he was probably scared out of his wits, but like when it's happened to me, and I'll admit, I've been lost, you're like, man, seriously. Well, what do I have? What do I need to do? And begin using the resources you have to get yourself out of the jam. I mean, I've seen some people, they start a billion-dollar company. There's one guy's a motivational speaker talking about if you had a coat hanger, a red, and I think it was a green marker, his name's Arjun Sen, could you put together a billion-dollar business from a coat hanger and 2 whiteboard markers? Yeah, there was a company that did that. That blew me away. They literally needed something, and they became their most recognizable brand. So just from literally nothing. Now, the people who started Papa John's probably weren't eating tree bark and ants, but hey. And of course, talking about resourcefulness, the battery on my camera died. So anyway, this story about, Garret Hunter out of Draper, Utah. Boy, think about resourcefulness. He thought, what can I do? Not what can't I do. Oh man, everybody always talks about what we can't do. We can't build a bridge. We can't build a wall. We can't open the door. We can't communicate. Can't. Can't won't get you there, folks. Can, will. Just think, okay, we disagree. Well, we agree on 80% of the stuff. Let's work on the can. That's the best thing. So let's learn this lesson from sorry, I'm looking at the newspaper here. Yeah, that's what I keep looking at, not my script. Garret Hunter that thinks, what can I do with what I have? And that literally saved this young man's life. So when you have the challenges and things are falling apart and I don't need this, I need a new computer, yeah, whatever. What can you do with what you've got? You can be incredible with what you've got if you just sit down and decide, I bet you I can figure this out and go from the vision of surplus and not of want or lack. My name is Aaron Linsdau. I'm a polar explorer and motivational speaker. Please visit my website, www.ncexped.com, or on Twitter at @alinsdau, and contact me. I'd love to hear from you and see what your comments are about these experiences. Go motivation!